let's start laying on our backs today. So we'll get there. Take a little time just to fidget and find your ideal laying down posture. And of course, we're going to find that breath. We'll find our biggest inhales, filling the lungs. And our biggest exhales, emptying the lungs. And then while you're settling in, we'll take a few moments to transition from life off the mat into life on the mat, where we're very present with all of our body sensations. We notice all thoughts and emotions that come up. And we make sure to observe everything on this mat with compassion and fascination. And then, of course, I want to invite you to always bend your arms and legs into any position that seems most comfortable. For your upper body, especially if you've been feeling really congested in the chest, desk life, we can open things up a little bit by putting a little bend in the elbows and kind of externally rotating the shoulders. The palms will flip up, and we can scooch the shoulder blades underneath the heart a little more snugly. And maybe that gives us that much more room to breathe into our big chest, big heart. And with our lower body, we have always the option to stretch the legs out long for a classic, timeless Shavasana. Or one option I really enjoy that you might like too is putting a bend in the knees and then taking the feet wide and knocking the knees together. And this feels nice on the outer hip and the low back, and possibly even we can allow the low back to release a little bit to the floor. Allow each breath to bring you a little more snugly into your practice. And of course, we've already begun the practice before we even start to move, just by breathing and being present with ourselves. You want to feel the big chest and belly spreading open on the inhales, but also the sides of the body and the back of the body too. Everything in the torso expanding outward on the inhales. And with our exhales, we're thinking of pulling everything back into center. The belly button compresses toward the spine. The sides of the belly compress inward. The rib cage is moving inward to squeeze and clean the air out of the lungs. Now that we've been here for a few moments, could you invite a little more softness into your face? Maybe your jaw, relax it, let it hang slack. Maybe find a little more spaciousness between the eyebrows. Maybe a soft smile on your lips. Maybe you could spend these next few breaths watching thoughts and emotions pass by, like beautiful birds. We wouldn't try to change the birds. We wouldn't try to label them good or bad. And we wouldn't want to attach to beautiful birds passing by. We would just watch them and enjoy. And look at your thoughts in this same way. Compassionate observer. And you can just keep your eyes closed here and keep that beautiful, complete breath, that softness in all of your joints and all of your tissues. And we'll just start to add a little gentle movement here. So if your knees are not bent already, put the bend in them and bring the feet up in close by your hips. And maybe take the feet a bit wider than your hips. So if you have a mat under you, then mat width would be great. And we'll just drop our knees side to side. Bring in a little gentle internal, external rotation to our hips. That's a great massage for the glutes also. And the low back is getting a little gentle twisting. So we might notice some crackles and pops, and that's all right as long as it feels good. And I'm just going to take a moment to remind you that during your practice, I'll give you so many suggestions today, but just take the ones that make sense for you. Playfully explore, yes, but no push, no pain, please. All right, beautiful people. Next time the knees point to the right, let's just pause and let's let them fall all the way. And then we'll actually turn to the right and we'll stack left knee over right knee. Okay, I like to call this a sandwich shape because we're stacked nice and neat like two pieces of bread. So think about your ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, even your hands are stacked left over right. And then once you've made sure of that, notice there's a little bit of a tendency for the spine to kind of sag toward the floor. That right side tends to want to move down. That's okay. Let's make sure we keep the spine long by lifting the right side a little bit. So make what I call a little mouse hole, please. You should be able to slide your left hand all the way under your right side. All right, keep that mouse hole. And finally, let's make the neck nice and long. And now we're ready to twist now that we have our long spine set up. So let's get the left fingers on the floor just above the right hand. And we'll turn this into a lovely twist. With your inhale, we'll take the left fingers, draw a big half circle over your head. And then eventually you're looking all the way out to the left, and we'll just pause there. And we'll come back around. So exhaling, come back the way you came. Looking out to the right again in your sandwich shape. So maybe you watch me do it a couple times and then you can just close your eyes and follow your own breath. But could we take maybe 5 or 6 breaths just like this? With your inhale, think of opening your huge chest into this twist. It should feel nice. And with your exhale, bring it back around. Okay, in your mind's eye, in your mind's vision of your body, remember to keep that right side a bit lifted, almost like you're trying to do a back bend as you twist. What would that feel like? Okay, next time you're reaching out to the left, let's just stay there for a little while. Let's hang out here and breathe. One thing that we want to make sure of is we want to put that left shoulder blade on the floor. So we could pick our shoulder blades up and move them a little to the right if that helps. And then maybe that left shoulder blade will press down. Could you take 3 or 4 long, slow breaths here? Maybe the eyes closed naturally. The inhale as we feel the spine grow a little longer, the chest grow a little bigger. And with the exhales, that left shoulder blade is so heavy and the belly button moves toward the spine. One more breath here to enjoy. And as you're ready, let's swing the legs through center and we'll drop them to the left and we'll make another sandwich shape. This time we'll turn completely out to the left and I will spin around to meet you while you're doing that. So we are now in the same shape, left facing sandwich. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, and hands are stacked. And then let's lengthen our spine. We do want that long spine while we're twisting. So let's lift that left side intentionally away from the floor. We have a little mouse hole. And the left side of the neck is quite long. It's not squinched up by the shoulder. Ready? Same thing on this side. Right fingers on the floor. Inhaling, make your big half circle. Looking to the right. Exhaling, trace your way all the way back. This is nice to do with the eyes closed. Our eyes are generally overworked, aren't they? So, kind of nice to give them a break and just feel the world. Hear the world. A few more breaths, opening and closing this way. As you twist, could you build a little feeling of almost arching your back, sending that right shoulder blade toward the floor. With the exhales, focusing on belly button to spine, using that transversus abdominis that wraps around your middle and keeps your low back healthy. Next time you open up, let's hang out right here. Breathing. Maybe 3 or 4 long, slow ones, please. Perhaps maybe more satisfying twist if we move our shoulder blades a little bit to the left. Then we can get the right one down, perhaps. Long spine, inhales. Belly button to spine, exhales. Realigning, recalibrating your spine. A fantastic massage for your organs also. And as you're ready, let's get the legs back in. And hands down by the hips here. Knees pointed up. And feet are planted on the floor by those hips. And let's start to do some bridges. So with your inhale, you can think of pressing the floor down with your hands, feet, and shoulders, lifting your hips toward the ceiling. Make sure your nose is pointed up so the back of your neck stays relatively arched off the mat. And with your exhale, we could release the hips back down. Let's take a few more, just waking up the back body, the glutes, the hamstrings. As you move, let's really light up this posture by engaging the knees inward. So if you put an imaginary tennis ball between your knees and attempted to hold it, keeping that tennis ball worth of space, of course, you might feel that engagement shoot all the way up to your core and give you a little bit more control. Okay, keep that tennis ball. Could we start to roll the spine up and down? One vertebra at a time comes down. One vertebra at a time peels up. Continue to breathe. I like the visualization of a string of pearls, carefully, one pearl at a time down, one pearl at a time up. Always keeping that length in the spine. So the tailbone is attempting to move away from the top of the head. All right, next time we come up, could we just hold here and breathe? Come on up and breathe. Okay, I'm going to throw out some options here. First of all, make sure you still have your tennis ball between your knees. And then could we allow the belly button to feel like it's kind of sliding down toward the rib cage? A little more space in the back of the neck, maybe. We point the nose straight up. And perhaps for your next few breaths, you bend your elbows, kind of like robot arms, and really press your shoulder blades down. You might even scoot your shoulder blades underneath you. Perhaps to spice this up, you think about dragging your heels towards your shoulder blades, waking up the backs of the legs. One more big breath in here. Okay, let's come down slowly. Keep your tennis ball and roll that spine down, one vertebra at a time. Come on down. And when your hips land, let's get those legs up in the air. We can drop our hands and circle out your ankles. Okay, I like to write capital letters with my toes, okay? Capital letters, all the things an ankle can do. All right, maybe some figure eights. Until you feel your shins and your calves get a little bit warmer. Okay, and you will eventually, it'll start to get a little warm. Okay, once you feel that warmth, let's bend that left knee. Go ahead and rest the left foot on the floor. And we'll take our fingers interlaced behind that right thigh. And we'll just start to gently encourage that right knee inward. And you can bend the right knee generously and just kind of rest that right foot near your glute. As you hug that right knee close to you, you might feel your hip crease kind of talking to you a little bit, your right hip crease. Make sure it feels nice. And then let's ground those shoulder blades. Really ground them, press them down like you're trying to imprint your shoulder blades into the mat or the floor. And a few more breaths here, really moving that knee toward your chest. Perhaps if the knee is okay today, we can interlace our fingers around the right shin. And get that knee close to the center of the chest, as close as feels okay. After a few breaths there, could we move the right knee away from the center of the chest toward the armpit? So as if you wanted to put the right knee into your armpit, encourage it in that direction. Breathe. Notice how the right hip crease feels about this and honor what it has to say, please. And then maybe we have a forearm wrapping around the right shin or the back of the right thigh. Totally fine there too. Maybe two forearms. However, remember your shoulder blades. Let's get them down. And as you're ready, let's soften up on that right leg a little bit. And we'll interlace our fingers behind the thigh. And let's press that heel up to the ceiling. And then bring it in towards your glute. Let's do that a few more times. Press the heel high. And then pull it in. Now you could just extend the knee partially, if that makes more sense. You could just extend partially and then bend. So just find something appropriate. It feels nice on your hamstring. Always nice feelings on the mat. Never pain, never bad feelings. So we're talking to that hamstring now, and we're listening. Okay, we don't ever want to upset our life partner, our hamstring. Put a nice flex in that right ankle so that the toes are reaching back for your nose. And let's pause next time you press that heel up. Hold it right here. Now you decide how much you want to extend the right knee, please. Something appropriate for you. All right, really get a nice flex in that foot. Whoo, good calf stretch. And let's hold it here as we reground the shoulder blades. Encourage the knee in toward the heart. Breathe. All right, as you are ready, soften up on that extension. Let the heel just kind of come down. And we'll change this into a figure 4. So we'll take this right ankle, still flexed is the easiest thing to do because once you have that flex in the right ankle, you can drop it on the left knee and it tends to hook nicely on there. It's kind of convenient. So hook it on the left knee, and we'll just let the right knee drop away. And then experiment here with using that right outer hip to move that right knee away from your nose and feel an opening in your right inner hip. It should feel kind of comfy and good. Okay, and we'll start to twist here. So if you take your arms out wide, keep that right knee pressing away from you because we want to try to keep this figure 4 shape in our legs as we start to move. So right knee presses away, right foot flexes. It'll help us keep this shape. And all we're going to do here is drop the knees to one side, drop the knees to the other side. That's all. Keep the figure 4 shape that you have, please, by pressing your right knee away. And maybe close your eyes and enjoy this lovely twist. You may enjoy inhaling through center and exhaling to the other side. And feel your glutes. Again, getting a nice massage, glutes, outer hip, the low back, little twistiness here. Okay, next time we drop the knees to the right. Let's pause. They're still in this figure 4 shape. Let's just change one thing, really. We will just shimmy this left foot to the left and only take it as far out as makes sense for you. If your knees are tender today, you're going to want to probably keep them higher up off the ground, so you'll only shimmy out a little bit. If everything's going great, you feel fantastic, you can keep that foot shimmying out, 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 and even begin to activate your knees downward. And you might feel something in your left outer hip, who knows? Look away from your knees once you've got everything arranged. Big breath here. Let's take some long, slow breaths. Just enjoying this. Very gentle twist. Maybe one more breath. And then as you're ready, let's rock our figure 4 shape back up through center. And we will probably need to shimmy the left foot back in so it's more on the mat. And then let's just drop the knees over to the left. Still in our figure 4 shape. So first of all, let's make sure that you get that right foot on the floor. If it doesn't come down, don't worry. Just hook it on your left leg and get comfy. We still want to push the right knee away. So feeling that right inner hip. So you have 2 options if you want to move a little more deeply into your right hip. You can use them together or separately. Option 1 is simply to pull the right foot in closer to your left hip, put it on the floor, and press it away from you again. Notice how that feels. And remember to breathe. Option 2, you can combine them or not. You can move that left knee closer up towards your left shoulder. Whew. And that will definitely take you deeper into that right hip. Once you're all settled in, look away from your knees and breathe. Let's take a few breaths here, friends. No rush. As you're ready, rock your figure four back to center. And let's take both feet down finally. Here, a few windshield wipers. Notice any sensations that have been stirred up in the hips. Gather information about how you're feeling. And then as you're ready, feet up in the air, circle those ankles out. Write some capital letters. Take a few breaths just like this. Once you've felt that warmth building in your calves and your shins, then we can put the right foot back on the floor. And we'll take our hands either behind that left thigh, or if the knee's feeling fine today, we can do the front of the shin, whichever one makes sense. Okay, shoulder blades are grounded, gently encouraging that left knee toward the center of the chest, as if you could move it towards your heart. And of course, it probably won't get on your heart, but it's moving in that direction. Breathe. Notice how the left hip crease feels about this. It'll probably talk to you a little bit. Make sure to listen. And then moving out toward that left armpit with the knee. Perhaps we bring a forearm, perhaps two forearms, but ground your shoulder blades, please. Breathe. As you're ready, soften up on that knee grip. And we'll take our fingers behind that thigh. Fingers interlaced, starting to press your heel to the ceiling and pull your heel in toward your glute. To find this appropriate range of motion for you, it'll be different for all of us. Perhaps we don't extend fully, perhaps we don't flex fully. We just find that pain-free, pleasant range of motion. Hands are on the hamstring, so we can feel everything that's happening to the hamstring here. And I think that's helpful, just to feel the tension when we extend and feel how the hamstring softens when we flex. Put a nice flex in that left ankle. And the stronger the flex is, the better it'll feel in your calf. A nice release for that calf. Next time you press your left heel toward the ceiling and extend just to the degree that makes sense for your leg. Let's hold right here. Breathe. Flex that left ankle. Ground those beautiful shoulder blades. The knee is encouraged toward the heart, but it's not forced. Enjoy one more breath here. And then relax from that knee extension. We'll turn this into a figure four. So if we keep our left ankle flexed, we have a convenient hook to place over the right knee, and it should kind of conveniently hook there. We think of pressing the left knee away, using your left outer hip and opening your left inner hip. Arms out wide so that we can stabilize for our twist. Keep this figure four shape that you have and drop your knees to one side and drop them to the other side. Maybe nice to close your eyes. Look away from your knees as you exhale. Inhale, legs through center. Exhale, knees to the other side. A few more rounds. Gentle movement. Wringing out your spine. All right. Next time your knees come to the left, let's pause. We still have our figure four shape, so we can modify it to the perfect appropriate level for your knees. So shimmy the right foot to the right until the knees have come as low as you'd like them to come. You can let them just fall passively, okay? Let gravity do most of the work for you here. However, if you prefer a little bit more, you can actively move those knees down. Just let them fall. Add a little activity there with your right inner hip moving the knee down and your left outer hip moving your knee down. So internal and external rotation here. Looking away from the knees. Several breaths here, please. Long and slow. Long spine inhale. Belly button to spine, exhale. Find that strong transversus abdominis that wraps around your middle. That is your low back support system. And that's why I always encourage you to use those strong exhales. Okay, that is our low back team. And we are on team low back for sure. We're ready to move the legs through center. You may need to walk the right foot back in if you walked it out a good bit, and then you're just going to drop your knees to the right. The right knee will come all the way to the floor more than likely. The left heel may come to the floor, or that might be too much, so don't feel like you have to force it. You can just hook the left ankle on your right thigh, okay? Don't force it to come down, but if it does come down, put it down, please, and then think of pressing that left knee away. Take a moment, just notice how that feels before we go anywhere. And then if you'd like to journey onward, explore your options that I gave you. You can pull your left heel in towards your right hip. Try to get that heel down. Press the knee away. Notice how that feels. You still want more, you bring your right knee closer in towards your right shoulder. So you flex the right hip more. Push that left knee away, look away, breathe. Long spine inhale. Big, let it go, exhale. Enjoy maybe one more long, slow breath here. And as you are ready, let's rock it back into center. Both feet on the ground. Here comes some windshield wipers. Gentle side to side. Okay, from here, if you bring your knees in towards your chest and one hand behind each knee hooks, then we can maybe take the knees wide so this is a little bit more fluid, but we can rock up and roll down. So try that with me a few times. Just kind of a nice little back massage on the floor. Bring it down and roll it up. Couple more times. Okay, try this, a little fun challenge. Next time you come up, can you balance? Balance, little float, and then bring it back down. Let's try it again. Come on up, balance, float, back down. One more time, come on up and float, and let's hold right here, okay? A little bit of a core challenge for you today in our boat pose, our Navasana. So remember, you have so many options in boat. You can always drop your hands behind you and your feet in front of you. As long as your beautiful spine is long, your belly button is pulling in, and your tailbone points at your toes, it's all good, okay? But if you can grab your knees, go for it. Lean back a little bit. See if you could lift the heart and drop the shoulders. Maybe today we have just one foot up off the floor. Maybe today we have two. Always something to play with in boat. If two legs up is easy for you, try floating your hands. And if all is still well, you can extend the knees a bit more. So I know I just gave you so many options, so just pick something that makes sense for you. Now I'm gonna have us twisting a little bit here. Are you ready? If your hands are free or if they're not free, either way, great. Big breath in, long spine. Big exhale, turn to the right. Turn your shoulders all the way out in that direction. If you can touch the floor on the right, do it. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Maybe touch the floor if your hands are free. Again, inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Can we do this a few more times? Nice little core challenge. Follow the pace of your breath. Please use your hands and feet to modify. Nice twist. A few more, maybe 3 more on each side. Two more. One more on each side. You got this. Nice. Let it go. You did it. Go ahead and drop your feet. And then let's find a comfy seat, just whatever that means for you. Might I suggest, if you don't already have something in mind, Sukhasana, and it's called easy pose. Sukha means easy. So if you just grab your right heel, you can tuck it in toward your hips. If it doesn't go all the way, no problem. And you're kind of externally rotating your right hip, and then you'll externally rotate your left hip as well, and tuck that ankle in next to its partner. So we'll find a way to sit up nice and tall and easy. If you're not feeling easy, don't worry. Try sticking a block or a pillow under your hips so that you sit up a little higher. Otherwise, whatever posture works for you is fine with me. Close your eyes. Find your long spine, okay? Find that there's equal weight in your sitting bones, okay? They are just so equally rooted. And then could you put a little pull back in your belly button and a little slight tuck in your tailbone? I want you to visualize your center of gravity here, somewhere behind your belly button. Imagine your breath radiating outward from that spot, and then radiating back toward that spot. Feel your long spine rising up out of your pelvis like a tall tree. The top of your head moving far away from your tailbone. Are you ready to twist a little more? Here we go. Inhaling here, reach your arms up. Make a long neck so that your shoulders stay far away from your ears, okay? And as you exhale, just twist to the left. Look to the left. We'll just tap the floor in front with right fingertips, behind with left. Okay, inhaling back to center. Other side, big exhale. Tap the floor. Maybe close your eyes. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Keep breathing, take some more. Now we've done a lot of twisting today. Okay, twisting is so therapeutic for your beautiful spine. Opens up this chest. Okay, our chests have a really hard time with our computer-centered lifestyles, but that's okay, we have yoga. Okay, friends, next time you twist out to the left, let's pause here. Now we've been using just our intrinsic strength to twist. We haven't been holding on to anything. But what happens if we really ground through our fingertips here? Push the floor away a little bit and maybe use the floor to deepen your twist, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist a little more. Everything from the belly button up is twisting. Perhaps if we want to go a little more deeply into this twist, we use the right hand on the outside of the left thigh to move a little deeper. One more big breath here. And we'll let it go and come back through center, okay? Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, other side. Fingers touch down, pause. Long spine inhale. Deepen that twist, exhale. Use the floor here. Heavy hips, long spine. Use your strong belly muscles on your exhale. Maybe the left hand helps out a little bit on the right knee. Remember, we want gentle encouragement rather than force. We think of allowing these postures to unfold naturally the way a flower would open. We wouldn't force the flower to open. That wouldn't work. One more breath here to enjoy. And let's bring it on back to center. And now, whatever crossing you had with your legs crossed, could we just switch the crossing here? Okay. Whatever leg was in front is now in back. And we'll get a little side bendy here. Go ahead and take your left fingertips out to the left and really ground that right hip. So notice when you lean to the left, the right hip tries to come up. Do the opposite. Ground that right hip. Inhaling here, right arm up. Exhaling, could you reach your right hand to the left? Okay, get a little longer here. Reach up, maybe lengthen the spine. Upward, 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 reaching through that right side. Grounding that right hip. And then exhaling, reach to the left. One more time, please. Inhale, reach your fingers high. Lengthen that right side. And exhale, reach. Hold here and breathe. Okay, here's an option. First of all, if your right hip is peeling up, you know what to do. Make it extra heavy. Second, make a lot of space around your ears. A lot of big space around your neck. And maybe that right elbow bends, makes a little right angle, and you can peel the armpit open. Maybe look at the ceiling under your right arm. Breathe. Long spine inhale. Belly button to spine, exhale. One more breath here. And let's bring it back up and in. Right fingertips out to the right, just as far as feels nice. A little extra awareness in grounding your left hip. Now, please, the left hip will be our anchor. And we're inhaling the left arm up to make it super long on the left side. And exhaling, reach to the right. Two more just like that. Maybe eyes are closed. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach, press that hip down. Last one, big breath in. Anchor the hip, exhale, reach, and hold. Keep breathing. Okay. Can you make it more spacious around your ears? Ah, little giraffe neck. Can you maybe bend that left elbow and peel your armpit open, looking up? Coming back up as you're ready. Come on out. Go ahead and unfold your legs. Let's shake them out long. And come long ways on your mat. If you moved yourself around, come long ways just like you're about to lay down. And let's play a little bit. We'll shake our legs out nicely here. But then if you just pull your right foot up in by your hips, okay, we'll just bend one knee at a time, and it doesn't have to come up super far. Just pull it in as far as you'd like it to go. And then reach forward and then round your spine like you're making bad posture on purpose. Okay, we're gonna roll ourselves down. As you roll down, can you straighten out your right leg? So we're just gonna play around a little bit with this. We're reaching out very long when we come down to make our longest possible shape on the mat. Okay, with your exhale, can you roll it back up, pulling your belly button in towards your spine? As you do that, could you slide your right foot back up and in? Reaching forward, maybe moving that heart towards your left big toe. So we have a fold. We inhale, we roll ourselves back, we straighten out that right leg. Let's do this a few more times. Exhale, roll it up, pull the right heel in, maybe folding a little bit. And now for some of us, we're not going to come down all the way, and I'll show you what that might look like. If you just came down partially and dropped your hands behind you, then that would be fine too, okay? You can just exhale, same thing on the way up. So you have options. A few more like this, please. Inhaling, roll it down. Exhaling, roll it up. Maybe two more, just like this. Last time. Okay, next time you come up, can we just hold and enjoy that for a little while? Come on up. The right foot has come as far in as you'd like it to go. You're reaching forward. Your heart is moving towards your left big toe. Maybe we ground our fingers just under our shoulders here and just pause. If you're feeling kind of constricted here, it doesn't feel accessible, try just putting a little bend in the back of your left knee, but please keep your left foot flexed. This should open it up a little more. So let's take a few breaths here. Long spine inhales, of course. And with your exhale, your heart wants to go towards your left big toe. It doesn't matter how close you get, but you want to go in that direction, okay? Breathe with me here. Long spine. Of course, the spine will round, but we want to round with as much length as possible. As you're ready, my friends, press yourself back up out of this nice fold. Let the right leg come out long. We're going to do the opposite. So the left leg will be the bending inward leg. And you may choose to go all the way down. You may choose to go part of the way down. But same thing here. Inhaling, stretch your body out long. Exhaling, roll it up and pull that left foot up and in. Reach forward, little fold. Second side might be easier or it might be stickier. So try not to have any expectations. Sometimes our expectations get in the way of just having a good time. Remember, if you feel like the fold isn't very accessible, you can make it a lot more accessible by just bending that right knee, okay? And I'm showing you what that would look like. Okay, bending that right knee and flexing that right foot. Next time you come up and you're reaching your heart toward that right big toe with the left knee pulled up and in. Let's hold here. We might drop fingertips under shoulders just to start. Lengthen that long, beautiful spine of yours. And exhale, heart moves toward that right big toe. If you feel like you want to drop your head, go ahead and drop it. But please keep that long neck and that long spine that we've worked on for so long. As you are ready, for the last time, let's have both legs long this time. Okay. Maybe a slight bend in the knees. Okay. Tuck that tailbone, belly button pulls back. We're intentionally rounding the spine. Come down as slowly as you can. How long could you make this last? Okay, take a little personal challenge here. Make it last. Remember to breathe. Once you've uncurled yourself all the way to the floor, rest. Find your favorite resting posture. It may be a shavasana with arms and legs long. Maybe you want to bend your arms and legs. Settle into a soft, effortless breath that comes through your nose with a slack jaw and a tiny smile. Luxuriate in experiencing the sensations that your practice has stirred up in your body and any thoughts and emotions that might be swirling in your mind. Observe. Enjoy spending some time being present in a very loving way with yourself. Please keep resting like this for as long as you can. If you have the time, maybe take a little nap. I hope you feel great. Thank you so much for joining me.